All right. Now, don't you just love it when you think you got all your bases covered and come to find out you just don't? So, what do I mean by that? Now, this is like my third time recording this video, and I think the secret forces of darkness do not want me exposing the devil's tactics, and that is counterfeiting, faking, stealing, scamming, and robbing people out of their own hard-earned money. Now, why is that? Because I have noticed an influx of fake Sennheiser MK4 microphones on the market. Now, the video you're seeing is of an MK8. Why am I showing you an MK8 and I'm trying to explain to you all the fake MK4s I have been seeing out there on the market? That is because I just bought an MK8. And if it wasn't for how much I liked the MK8, I would have never started scouring eBay for an MK4 just as like a backup mic. Maybe I was going to get a pair of them, a couple of them after I get an extra MK8 because I really want to work on a large audiobook project. And I just need a more clean microphone than what I've been using, which is the AKG C4000Bs. And those are not clean. They're vintage. They got character. Sennheisers, these MK8s, oh my goodness, they're so clean. But they do got some bit of a sound going on, especially when I run it through my 1273 Behringer preamp. And I'm running this at almost mic level. And then I'm also running it through the EQP Clark Technic and also the Behringer 369 compressor. And so you get a little of something else in there in that signal. So you might not hear a totally clean sound right now, but still, I just like the way these sound. And that's what made me start looking for through eBay for the MK4s. I noticed how some of the MK4s were like $100 brand new. And I thought, man, that's a good deal. Come to find out, they're fake. Okay, now, I never would have thought that people would be faking microphones that a lot of people are not really buying like that. I'm not saying that people don't like the Sennheiser MK8s and 4s. It's just that a lot of people don't really know that much about them. And so I just didn't think people would be faking them, right? I mean, the Neumanns, TLM 102, 103, U87s, yeah, all day long. Sure SM7Bs, sure SM58s, yeah, all day long. Sennheiser MKH 416s, yeah, all day long. But the MK8s and 4s, I'm like, man, ain't nobody faking those. Like, I mean, those are mics they didn't really advertise that much. And big studios aren't raving about them. But the few people that did get them wonder why people are just looking over them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because Sennheiser is not known for large diaphragm studio condensers. So after I started looking at some of the pictures of the MK4s on eBay, I noticed that some of them look far different than how mine look. So the MK8 and the MK4 share the same body. They look identical. On the outside, they do. If you didn't have any writing or anything like that, if you didn't look on the back of the mic at all, you would probably think they're the same as that microphone. They share the same housing, except the MK8's dual diaphragm. It's got pads and switches on the back. That's how you can really tell them apart. But I also noticed that some people on even YouTube got a hold of a fake MK4 and they thought it was a real one. And so I just want to sound the alarm on this. So the reason why I'm showing you my pictures of my MK8 separately than the picture or like the clip I'm going to show you of all the eBay listings of all the real and fake MK4s is because, well, this is the reason I got to re-record this video. I can only have one window recording at a time. I can't do the whole screen. And I had my screen split in half between eBay and my Sennheiser pictures, and apparently it only recorded the half where my Sennheiser pictures were. And that kind of screwed me over, and now I'm back here again doing this all over again. And that gave me some time to adjust my signal chain, stuff like that. I just dialed back some tone just a little bit because I noticed this preamp does something to the sound of my mic that I'm not that fond of. On the AKGs, yeah, all day long. AKGs are very sensitive mics, so I don't have to crank the gain that high, which, cranking the gain does alter the sound of the preamp too. And Sennheisers, yeah. So I got to kind of learn how to work this mic against and with my preamp and my signal chain in order to get the best out of it. The AKGs I'm already familiar with. So enough talking about random stuff. I'm just so used to talking in my podcast to where I can just go on and on about things. So let me not annoy you with that. But I'm going to show you how to spot a real Sennheiser MK4 or 8 just by you first looking at the pictures that I'm showing you. And I'm going to compare all my pictures to the eBay listings, and I'm going to show you my pictures first. And I want you to pay attention to some things. And these are the things that stand out the most on the fakes. All right. Front capsule, front of the mic. Yeah, no big deal. Back of the mic. On the fakes, you're going to notice how the paint is really bright white on the paint. And then another thing you're going to notice, I might have skipped the picture. No, I didn't. On the fakes, pay attention to this thread ring here, the color and the size of it in relation to the bottom post here. Okay, make sure you eyeballing that to death. All right, because I apparently I can't have them both up at once, and I would love it if I could, but that screwed me over. So I'm doing this again. Pay attention to the screws, the size of the screws, how recessed the screws are. When I get ready to show you the fakes, pay attention to that. All right. Another thing you want to pay attention to as well, this sticker here. Make sure you look at that. Look at these screw holes. You see those screws are recessed in. Okay. Recessed in there. The Sennheiser mics, some are turned, some got the little rectangle on the inside turned the other way on the real ones. That I've noticed is quite common among the real ones, and I'm going to explain to you why that's still a real Sennheiser. But but most of the time it's supposed to be turned this way. Okay, that paint ain't supposed to be bright white. Another thing you're gonna notice, see, look again. Screw hole, screw recessed in. This thread here, brass color, wider in relation to the post. Authenticity sticker. Paint, not bright white. Let's see. Oh, and this is just to double check to make sure you got a real Sennheiser MK4 too. All right, so let me ramble, and I'm gonna just teach you how to think when you're trying to determine whether or not you got a real or a fake mic. You need to be taught how to think, not just know what to think, but how to think. All right, because knowing how to think will show you any counterfeit. All right. It's always going to be something counterfeiters don't do because it's too much work. All right. It's always going to be at some point when they got to stop because maybe they don't have said equipment to do a certain thing, or if they do any more work, they're losing profit, or said parts and pieces, and or if they counterfeit it too closely, they can be sued and for forgery and piracy or whatever it is. It's always going to be some way to tell you got a counterfeit. All right. Threads, brass color. The size of the threads in relation to the post right here. screw hole recessed in. All right. Now this is the back of the microphone. This is an MK8. It's dual diaphragm. On the fake MK4s, it's cardioid only. Why do all the fake MK4s look just like a dual diaphragm when it's supposed to just be cardioid only? You're gonna notice that. And that's probably why I haven't seen, well, just looking at all these pads and switches on the back, is probably why I haven't seen one fake MK8 just yet. Because by the time you replicate all of this, it's like, yeah, like you're probably not going to make any money counterfeiting that. Not to say that somebody won't go through the hell of doing it though. All right. Make sure if you bought an MK4, make sure you check to see if your capsule is connected. The wiring of the capsule is connected with a ribbon cable. I'm not going to take this mic apart again to be able to do this. But I did do it when I first got it, and I just don't want to do it again. But the capsule is wired with a ribbon cable. Make sure you look at that. See, ribbon cable there. It's supposed to be a shock mounted capsule. These little things on the side of the ribbon cable, like these little shadowy parts, that's the shock mount of the capsule. Make sure you paying attention. All right. So we're going to roll next clip here. All right. So now we get to eBay, right? And this is the most revealing thing in the world. Look at all of these MK4s. Not many MK8s. You know why? Because people that buy, well, okay, first of all, most people are shoving Neumann and stuff like that down your throat, which, I mean, like, you could buy what you want. Like, Neumann made good mics. Sennheiser didn't really push these as much as they pushed their Neumann brand. And they really don't even got to do that because people just know Neumann to be the studio mic. They don't know Sennheiser to be the studio mic. They do know him to be the movie mic, but not the studio mic. So that's why they had to charge you a little less for these, right? And then even then, still, a lot of people just didn't come across it. But the few people that did, most notably the MK4s, said they don't know why these mics are not as popular as they are. Okay. So it ain't a lot of MK8s on the market. I don't think I'd be selling this anytime soon. I'm recording right now on my MK8 in hypercardioid mode, running it through my 1273 EQP and 369 right into the interface. Just to make sure I don't peak too high for the compressor, right? But MK4s, very easy to counterfeit a cardioid only microphone. Very easy to do. All right, so now I'm a go over all the fakes, and this is how you spot a fake MK4. And if you bought an MK4 and you don't really like something about it, and you think you bought a fake, well, this is a good way to determine whether or not you bought a fake. And this is shocking. So first eBay listing, let's go ahead and go to it. All right, so first thing we can tell, the threads, not brass color, right? They're the same color as the body of the microphone, and the threads are very narrow in relation to the post, which means the post, like this bottom post here, is wider than it's supposed to be. It's not that the threads are narrower. The post here is wider than it's supposed to be, as if somebody's CNC work was not all that good. As if somebody just welded two pieces together and just said, here you go. Right? Now let's go to the next part. Now you see no packaging. All this is going to matter. No packaging. That's not the point, right? The real point is these are all different microphones from different people from around the world. That part gonna matter in just a minute here. Okay, I didn't show you the thread, but look at this. You can see the screws. Like this is a straight 90-degree or 0-degree, image, and you can see the screws from the face of the mic. That's not how it's supposed to be. Those screws supposed to be recessed in. I'm already looking at screws here. I can still see the screws. That's not good. Not to mention, let me see. Something about the top of this mic don't quite sit right to me, but that could just be the angle in which they showing it. Okay. And this here is a fake. I just want to let you know. Make sure those threads got to be brass colored. They can't be almost the same size in relation to the post. It's going to tell you what to look for when you buying one of these. Or if you bought one and you want to know it's fake. Look at the back. That's gold. That's too much color there. That don't even look like the actual capsule they used in this microphone. That looked like something else. Like that looked like some cheap off the shelf capsule that somebody just threw in there. Like, look at all them holes in there. That's not just from the grill. That's I don't know. That's something else. Like, let me go back to the front. That's too many holes in that capsule. I wonder if the real one looked that way. But the pictures I showed you, like that was more of a solid color than that. And with this being cardioid only, that looked like a dual diaphragm capsule. That's not supposed to be that much gold there. Pay attention to that paint. Bright white or not off tan like how it is supposed to look. Look at that serial number. Ended in 25511. Okay. No authenticity sticker right here on the back of the mic. None. Look at them screws, not recessed in. That's a fake. That's definitely a counterfeit Sennheiser. Yeah, I wish I could see in the capsule to see if it's shock mounted or if it's got see in the look. I'm looking at wires. Look, don't y'all see that red wire in there? That's supposed to be a ribbon cable, not wires. That's I didn't pick this up first until just now. After as long as I've been studying these pictures before I made this video, that's my first time actually seeing actual wires on one of the fake instead of the ribbon cable it's supposed to be connected with. That's a fake. That one is so fake is not even funny. But look at this box. It look real. They trying to tell you verify authenticity with this QR code and all this other stuff, and it's fake. It's dirt. And see, this box and stuff like that could really throw people off. So at first I thought it was no packaging. I'm sorry. I forgot about this last picture on this listing because I've been going through all these listings, just looking through all these fakes. All right, let's close that off. Right? Oh, I forgot to see where this was coming from. Where was this coming from? That matter. All right. All of that's going to add up in just a minute. Woods Cross, Utah. Okay, so that's coming from Utah. Serial number ending in 25511. Right? 220. Okay, that's about the price a used one should be. 220. Right? Now I got my MK8 for 330 something. After taxes and shipping. I caught cool on this. And I didn't even think about the possibility of being sold a fake before I bought mine for 330 something. I was thinking more so, is the mic damaged or how used is it? I didn't really consider being scammed on a fake. And I'm glad I got a good deal. All right. So next, this one. Be very aware of eBay listings like this, where they take everything out but won't take it out the plastic. Okay, look at them threads. It's the same size of the post. Threads are not brass color. That's a fake. That's probably why they didn't take it out the packaging. They don't want you to look that close. Be iffy about that. Like if you're gonna undo all the packaging, bro, look, just do it all the way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't be halfway about it. I mean, like people don't care if it got the manual in the pouch, in the windscreen, in a little mountain clip in the box. We want to see the mic. Show me the mic. You know what I'm saying? Show me that mic. Yeah, that's a fake. Like, look at them threads. Not brass color and not wider in relation to the bottom post. I don't know what it's called. And I'm trying to find the serial number on it. I'm looking at 55 and then a 1 afterwards. I bet you that's one of them 25511 ones. I'ma just say it is. It's one of them 25511 serial numbers. Let's exit this out. Where's this coming from? Walnut, California. So in both Walnut, California and in Utah, y'all both selling the same mic with two different packages and stuff like that. I mean, because they got the same serial number, so they got to be the same microphone, right? Oh my goodness. My goodness. All right. Now this is a whole nother package in here. Oh, I should probably check where it's coming from first. This coming from Hebron, Kentucky. All right, so we got Utah, we got California, we got Kentucky. This is a fake. Look at them threads. I can just spot fakes all day long. And for somebody that need 4 of these microphones, I need to know if I got fakes because I need to make a really big audiobook project, and I kind of want the same mic like across every character, right? And something clean ish like this that don't cost an arm and a leg, right? But look at this. This got the shock mount. It's got the windscreen. It's got the box. It make you think you getting the real deal. I'm looking at 1-1. I can't see the rest, but I do know that's 1-1. Man, just look at them screws. They're sitting on top of the chassis or the case or the body instead of recessed in. There's no authenticity sticker. Like, even if they could have faked the authenticity sticker, man, like they didn't even do that. But I mean, that's good. So that way you can buy a real one, right? The threads, all the same color, the paint too bright. Man, just look. Yeah, that kind of give me the vibes of that one capsule I seen with all them little dots in it. Like the real capsule ain't as dotty as that, but that could just be the grill. But I don't know. That looked like a cheap capsule that got all the little dots in it like that. Like, yeah, all edge terminated capsules gonna have some dotting of that sort. Oh, 25511. 1960 25511. If you bought a mic with this serial number, a Sennheiser MK4 or 8, you got a fake. I mean, like, just look at them screws. They sit on top like that. That's crazy. That's not how it's supposed to be. Look, them threads, not brass color. That post need to be thinner, need to be a chamfer there. The inside chamfer, right up in that XLR. That's why that chamfer is so thick, because with the post being wider than it should be, because the threads got to be the same size they supposed to be, or else it won't fit on the shock mount. That's why that inner chamfer is so big, because it need to be able to at least hold the XLR in. See, and even something about the color of this mic don't sit well with me. Just the color look fake. Now, see, I don't mind buying a used shock. I don't mind buying a fake shock mount. A shock mount is a shock mount is a shock mount, right? But no, not a fake mic. And this, my dear, is coming from Kentucky. So what we got so far? We got a Utah, I believe a California. I don't know. Oh, in a Kentucky. all got the same serial number. So you mean to tell me all these different package bundles, different boxes apparently, coming from different locations for drastically different prices, it's all the same microphone? Because that's the only way they could all have the same serial number, unless they put the same stamp on across every fake. Now let's get to the next one here. Let's see where it's coming from first. This one's coming from Walnut, California. So this is another California, unless that was another place in California, but still, just watch, just keep watching. This one's a fake. I can just I can look at the screws, I could look at the thread, I could look at that inside chamfer there that ain't supposed to be that way. That chamfer is not that chamfered. It is not, something ain't right about that. That's fake. Yep, that's a fake, and it's giving you the whole package like you getting a real microphone. Like, no, that's something somebody put together in a garage. And if it is something somebody put together in a garage, look, even through the grill, I can tell that them dots in that capsule are just too apparent. The real one don't look that way. Let me see if I see wires. I can't see any appearance, but look at all them dots in that capsule. Even through the grill, I can tell that capsule is too dotted. No authenticity sticker. 25511. I mean, just come on, bro. Just come on. All different boxes, all different package bundles, different prices, different locations, all the same serial number. Now, this one, I think this is a real one. Yeah, I hearted all the real ones. Now, if we take a closer look at this capsule, it don't look as dotted as the fake ones. And look at them threads. Wider threads in relation to the post at the bottom. Brass color. I can look, even though it ain't a lot of pictures of this, I can trust in confidence that this is more than likely a real one. All right, so it ain't no need to check the location on that one because that one's real. And let's go to this. Fake. I can just look and tell a fake. Oh my goodness. Look at them threads. Same color. Almost the same size as the post up underneath it in relation to the threads. I mean, yeah. I forgot to check location. And let me see. Even though that's blurry, I can still tell that's 1-1 at the end. I ain't seen the screws yet. Yep, that's 1-1 at the end. 5-5-11. The screws from the look sitting on top. Yep, that's fake. See, but the stock picture they used is a picture of a real one. See, stock picture they used, picture of a real one. You can see the little mounting points for the shock mount on the inside. But let me see if the same mounting points is there on the fake one. Let me see. I'm gonna need another fake one to go by. Let me look at the first one we seen. See if them same mountain points there. If somebody's is clear enough to really be able to see. This is the one where I seen wires. Like, bro, come on. That's supposed to be attached with a ribbon cable, man. Not wires. Bruh, I don't know. We live in a different world right now. So let's go to this one. This one right here, this is a real one. This one right here for 302. Coming from what, Japan? It say. Let me see if that's really coming from Japan. That's just what it say. Shipping. Dang, I don't know where this is coming from for sure. but it look like it say it's coming. It's Otan, Japan. I don't know. Buy with confidence. Now, yeah, yep. This one coming from Japan, shipping $61. By the time I pay $361 for this one, I might as well go to Sweetwater and pay $399 for a brand new one with a warranty and all that other kind of stuff. So just be aware of stuff like that. This is real. Just from the look of it though. Paint not bright white. I can tell there's an authenticity sticker there. And I can tell that the screw holes are more recessed in, the threads, brass color, chamfer there, and in after where the mountain post or whatever that is. And them all the pictures they got, even though it ain't many pictures, I can still tell that's a real Sennheiser MK4. This right here, I bet you this one's fake. I didn't heart this one, so this one gotta be fake. Yep, this is a fake. Fake. Look at that. That's fake. All these boxes and pouches and all that stuff of you scamming people. Hey, nice picture you took though, but this is fake. Look at that screw. I could see the screw poking off like that. That's fake. That's so fake. Even something about the letters on the front just look fake. I don't think the lettering on the front really looked that off. Paint bright white, 11 960 255 11 fake. No authenticity sticker supposed to be somewhere right here. Even something about this part right here just look thicker than it's supposed to be. Like, let me look on the bottom of mine. Nah, I mean, like maybe the size is the same, but just look at them screws. It looked like somebody screwed that in with a screwdriver and some of the paint came off. Look at that inner chamfer right there. That don't, that's, ugh. That's nasty work, man. So, yeah. Um, what I haven't seen though from a reel is the back to be able to show you that the capsule is not supposed to be that gold because it's a cardioid only and it's internally shock mounted, which means a lot of that supposed to be the ribbon cable and the heck, I don't know, like the shock mount part. It's not that it ain't gonna be some shine back there, but it ain't supposed to be shiny. It's just the front of it. All right, now let's go to this one. I believe this one was a fake too. Yeah, this one's a fake. I mean, come on, bro. Like, what you 25511? Oh, I forgot to see the location of the last one. 25. Yeah, this is a fake, and they give you the whole package, bro. Like they give you the whole deal, and it's fake. They put a lot of effort in this. Whole lot of effort got put in this. I still can't see how the capsule is mounted though. Oh, I can kind of see through. It looked like they kind of mimicked that, but it's still a fake though. Still. And that's if that's the real picture of the mic. Look at them screw. This screw don't even look like a real screw. That look like a, I don't know. I don't know what that is. That don't look like a screw that a reputable brand like Sennheiser would put in a microphone, on their microphone. That look like something somebody built in their basement. Honestly, it just do. There's no craftsmanship there. You know what I'm saying? This right here, I hearted this one, a real one, 457 with shipping price of $50. I just get go to Sweetwater and get one $399 with a warranty with free shipping. But it's still real though. It's still an authentic microphone. That's real. See, look at this. This don't like this bottom, like this black, it's like dulled down. That's how it's supposed to look. Not all glossy like the fakes. Look at the screw hole. Screw recessed in. It looked like they chose the screw based on craftsmanship. That's how it's supposed to look. Look at the threads, a brass color, good old chamfer there. And right where I keep on trying to talk to y'all about that inner chamfer, is not that chamfered like how it is on the fakes. That's because the post is the size it posed to be, and it don't gotta be chamfered as much as it is on the fakes in order to be able to hold the XLR in. Now let me see if I can find the authenticity sticker right here. See how some of the authenticity stickers, they got the rectangle center going up and down, and some of them got them going side to side. But still, see, look, this just so happened to have everything I told you a real one should have, and it's got a different serial number than all the other ones. That's how you can tell, man, you ain't getting ripped off. See, look how the rectangle go up and down on the inside of the sticker instead of side to side. That's how mine look too. But this is a real one though. And I noticed on some of the real ones, the authenticity sticker goes side to side on the inside of the little rectangle part. Look, you can see how it's like shock mounted. Look, it's got a shock mount. Now this is a real one right here. This is a real one. I just didn't heart this one for what reason though? Oh, because it was just one picture, and I don't trust buying it because it's just one picture. And it's not a authorized dealer. Like if it's just gonna be just one stock picture and it ain't enough to go by to see what I'm buying, I really can't trust buying it. See, musician's friend, authorized dealer. All right, let's go to this one. I believe this one was a real one. However, they kept the mounting point on there, and I'm not able to see the rest of the mic. I mean, but just look at the lettering. The lettering looked more real than how it did on the fake. And I can tell you this is a real. Like, look, let's go to this. You don't see all that gold and stuff like that you seen on the fake ones, because this is cardioid only. It's not posed to be that way. Now, I'm not saying cardioid only mics won't have it. Look, paint, tan looking, serial number is unique, right? This is a real one. Even though I can't see the authenticity sticker, look at that black part at the bottom, dulled down in color, not shiny black. MK4, that look real, not like somebody wrote that on there, like how the fakes do. That's a real one. This right here, I don't know why I didn't heart this one, even though this was that's because I'm not getting a deal on it in comparison to just buying. Oh, this must be the same person, different listing. But still, it's a real one though. Same person, different listing, different pictures. But at least they selling you a real mic. See, it's not 1-11-960-255-11, right? Those threads look more brass color, and the threads are bigger in relation to the bottom post. If everything look, this is the back. You can see that ribbon cable right there. And it's not all shiny gold, like the whole entire thing, like how the fakes are. And this the front. Authenticity sticker. Now, I was telling y'all how the rectangle in the middle sometime go the opposite direction. Now, that I'm gonna have to investigate. But I believe that that's just something they did in the factory or something like that. But this is a real microphone though. It's got every other characteristic of craftsmanship. The only thing that's different from this and mine is the sticker go the opposite direction. But ain't nothing else wrong with it though. This installs confidence except the direction of that authenticity sticker, which I'm not gonna say that that's a characteristic of a counterfeit, but I like it's just something I noticed, and I don't believe that's counterfeited either. All right, let's go to another one. I think I just came from this one, but let's see. Oh, this one, eh, no big deal. I mean, but it's a real one. Threads. All you gotta do is look at it. It ain't shiny black. See, like, and even with the shine. So let's like I'm a come back to that $400 solid price one, and let's just go back to a fake one just one time. Let's just go back to a fake one. Like you can see how this black got too much shine. It's just too much gloss. It just too much gloss. That's a fake one. Let's look at another fake one just to show you that gloss. That's too much shine right there. Wait, especially right here, you can tell that's fake. It look nothing like real because that's supposed to be so dulled down that it's not that shiny. That just looked like somebody put some baby oil on it. Man, that must have been at Diddy house a little too long too. It's a little too long. They've been baked a little too long in Diddy oven. All right, this right here, I think I looked at that one already. 303. Let's just look at it for laughs or whatever. Yeah. See, look, back of the capsule ain't all shiny gold, right? That's how it's supposed to be. Now this one, I believe this is a real one. And I just want to go over each and every one of them just so that way you got it in your head about how to spot counterfeit MK4s or 8s just in case they ever get around to faking the 8s. But I haven't seen any counterfeit MK8s. I even typed in on Google fake Sennheiser MK4s, and other people have noticed that some of the MK4s could be faked, but they never told you with confidence that they are or told you how to spot them. I might be one of the first people to make a video about exactly how to spot fake MK4s, right? Real. Just look at them threads. It's not shiny black on the bottom, right? Authenticity sticker, unique serial number, not all shiny gold on the back, even though it will be some shimmer back there, but not like how it is on the fakes. Wait. Now let me go back. Paint. Yeah, the paint's a little brighter, but that could just be the picture. Okay, so let's go to another one. This one here is a real one. Now, I think this is the cheapest real one I've seen. I just didn't like how they photoshopped a picture and it looks trash, and it just kind of made me feel like this is a bit of a ghetto hookup right here. But still, you got the authenticity sticker down there. Back of the capsule, yeah, it's got some shine, but guess what I can see? The ribbon cable. I can actually see the ribbon cable, and it's not as much shine as it is on the front of the capsule. That's the difference. They ain't supposed to look that identical. It's a cardioid only microphone. They're supposed to be electrical or something going on back here, not like another capsule or another diaphragm. This here's a reel. See, threads. I don't see screws sticking out. The lettering look real. The black isn't glossy. The paint, not bright white. Authenticity sticker there. Yeah, it might be kind of shifted the other direction, like how I was telling you. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. But still, screw holes recessed in, right? Threads. I don't see a bunch of gloss on the back of the capsule, stuff like that. This right here, I believe that's just a stock image. But let's just go to it anyway. See, look, screws recessed in, threads bigger in relation to the post. Not all super duper chamfered on the inside because the bottom post is the size it's supposed to be. Authenticity sticker. Black dulled down. Back of the mic, I'm not looking at no gold on the back of the capsule, but on this one, I can see it on the front. That's how it's supposed to be. Look, back. It looked like it's electrical going on back there. Not a whole nother diaphragm. Like, man, these counterfeiters are just getting a lot more creative, man. That's a real one. It ain't much more to see. Let's go to this. Or did I just come from this? That's a real one. It ain't much more to see. I mean, heck, he won $500 for this. But this same dude got like 3 or 4 different Sennheiser MK4 listings. And it's probably all the same microphone, honestly. I didn't check all the serial numbers, even though that one's marked off. But still, it's the same dude, like 4 different listings. It's probably all the same mic. Let's look at this. Real. Just that there. That just look real. $400 shipping though, just to ship that mic, and that's the economy shipping too. Just to ship that mic is the cost of a whole brand new one from Sweetwater. Authenticity sticker, screws recessed in. Not a 25511 serial number. And see, that just, and see, look, this MK8. And that's the stock picture. That's what it's supposed to look like. The threads are supposed to look that way. Like it ain't no shine going on the black. And that's the stock picture. Now, I just thought I might throw this on out here. Just for somebody. I seen somebody post a comment up under a Sennheiser MK4 video, and they was asking if they think that Sennheiser might have changed their circuitry or their tuning with their newer mics, because they ended up buying a second one and they thought that maybe they made some changes or something like that at the factory because it just kind of sounded a little different. Chances are they might have bought one of them $100 hookups or $200 hookups and got scammed with a fake. And they could have ended up like the other dude, the older guy, who was trying to compare his real one with his fake one, just for people in the comments to discover that both of the mics he got was fake. And he said, well, they kind of sound the same. See, but he didn't know they were both fake. But like he thought that because he paid more for one than the other one he bought off of AliExpress, so apparently that one was definitely fake. But he thought because one costed more and it probably had more of a bundle deal or whatever, like he just assumed that that one was the real one and the one he bought from AliExpress was the fake one. Chances are they were both from AliExpress, but one of them somebody just made a nice little come up on. But I mean, just imagine some people, bad comments, negative experiences about the mic, all because they could have bought a fake one and didn't realize they did. And that's why they would say, oh, I just don't like the sound of it. Or I just wish it was a little less this and a little less that and yada, yada, yada. But that don't mean fake microphones can't actually sound good. But can they sound consistent in every given circumstance? Right? If it was just a little more humidity, right? If it was just a little higher sound pressure level, right? If it was just a little more rumble going on in the background, okay? Do it render the lows, mids, and highs the exact same way? I mean, even though fake mics can in some way sound acceptable, especially if you don't got anything of the same type and authentic, like especially if you don't got a real one to compare it to, even though fake mics can sound acceptable just listening to it with nothing else to compare it to, it don't mean it sound good. Or it like I don't know, like they don't always sound bad. I've heard some people doing side by side shootouts of their real TLM 103 against their Ally Express or Temu TLM 103. And yeah, there were some differences in the sound. But some of them circuits are simple circuits. Like TLM 103, that's a simple circuit. U87, that's a simple circuit. It don't take rocket science to remake a TLM 103 or U87. But still, do everything the U87 or TLM 103 do. How do it sound off axis? Okay? Like, how does it render room noise? Because of how it sounds off axis. See, those are things that fake microphones don't replicate. So those things to think about. So if you are a victim of a fake Sennheiser MK4, please dial the number. And I don't know, man. Just think about this, y'all. Other than that, that's about it. I said everything I wanted to say in my first video, and now I don't know what else to say now because this is my second time recording it. So other than that, I thought I might want to throw this on out there, and peace.